Okay, hi Addy. Welcome to lesson number 84 for you. This lesson is going to be awesome, and I think you're actually really going to like it. It's definitely useful in the future for you because we're going to be talking about order of operations. So that means like when we are looking at a problem and you have addition, you have multiplication, you have division, you have parentheses, what do you do first? So this is going to explain all of that and you're going to get it right away. Okay, first I want you to do your 5 minutes of your facts practice, and today you're going to do those linear measurements. That is a hard one. I know it's tricky, so get as much as you can done in 5 minutes. Are you ready for that? Have everything out that you need? Okay, I am going to get out a timer, and on your mark, get set, go. Okay, I'm going to stop it right there, Addy. Great job with that. Don't worry if you didn't finish the whole thing. I know that one's a hard one, all those measurements. All right, let's jump into this comic first. All right. So I love these Far Side comics because they always tell a story, right? You can either tell like just what just barely happened or what's going to happen in the future, right? Okay, so it looks like these guys are the ones up there talking. This guy's looking down this way and this guy's talking and he's saying, "So then I says to Borg, you know, as long as we're under siege, one of us ought to moon these Saxon dogs." So he convinced this guy to moon the attackers. Probably not a good idea if they're armed with bow and arrows, right? Okay, let's jump into the lesson now. We're going to start with mental math. And what they want us to do is count by 12s from 12 to 144. And if you notice on this multiplication table, we're basically going to be counting by 12. So we go 12, 24, 36. You could also do it this way in this row. So if you want to use this little multiplication table to help you, you can. Okay, ready? Here we go. And we're going to count while this elephant is jumping rope for us. Okay, 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120, 132, 144. All right, now cover up that multiplication table. See if you can do it again, okay? Ready? 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72, 84, 96, 108, 120, 132, 144. Sweet, we did it. All right, we're going to look at some cute kittens while we do the rest of mental math, okay? The first one is 40 times 40. Write your answer. All right, this little kitty is enjoying a little face massage, it looks like. Ready? 980 minus 136. C. What is $5.99 plus $2.99? D. What is 1/4 of $10? You're basically going to divide that by 4. What is 1/4 of $10? Do you know what 1/4 of $1 is? Well, there's 25 cents in every, there's 4 quarters in every dollar, so 1/4 of $1 is 25 cents. So what's 1/4 of $10? Okay, what is 7.5 times 100? You're going to be making that number bigger, right? Okay, and then F. What is 480 divided by 20? Remember, when it's the same on the top and the bottom, you can sort of cancel out one of those numbers. Okay. G, this is a long one. You ready? Okay, we're going to start with the number 8 times 8. Now, subtract 4. Divide by 3. Add 4. Divide by 4. Add 2. And divide by 4. What number do you end up with? Okay, problem solving. Oh, you know what? I just noticed I didn't do the Happy Hands Club. Let's not forget the H, which is Happy Hands. And basically what they want you to do is they want you to hold your hands 1 foot apart. So 1 foot, and then 1 inch apart. So when you're going from 1 foot to 1 inch, how does that change? Okay, now problem solving. I changed it up a little. Instead of Houston, do you have a problem? Here's Dory saying, you got a problem, buddy? Do ya? Do ya? Do ya? Remember that? Okay, so problem solving involves this little well, I made it big, this diagram right here. And I think it's a little hard to tell which part is shaded in your homework because I made a copy of it, so I'll try and make that easy for you. It is this part and this part that is shaded, okay? So it says 2 shaded triangles in this figure. Okay, let's see. Yep, there's 2 shaded triangles. There's this one and there's this one. And it says together form a 3rd shaded triangle. Where is the 3rd triangle? Looks to me like it's going to be this one because it says together they form a 3rd. Find the area of each of the 3 shaded triangles. So, do you remember the area of a triangle, that formula? Well, if it's dripping off your tongue, you're going to say the area is 1/2 the base times the height. And the other important thing to remember is that the base and the height have to be perpendicular. Perpendicular. So it has to be at a 90-degree angle. And you're going to use this equation 3 times because it wants you to find the area of every triangle. You know what? If I would have done this problem, I would have made it harder and I would have not given you this value. Because you should be able to figure that out, right? Because they tell you that this segment from here to here is 4 centimeters. So that means the base of this triangle right here is 4 centimeters. What's the base of this triangle? It's 6 centimeters because those are like perfect rectangles. That's a perfect rectangle right there. So then you could have just said, well, 6 plus 4 is 10. So 10 is the whole length from there to there. So I probably would have been a little meaner than this book and not given you that one, but they did give it to you. So let's do one of them just so you can see how it's done and then you can figure it out. So when you do the big triangle, you're going to have to do 1/2 the base times this height, right? What about actually the height is the same on all of the triangles. It's just the base that changes. So let's do this triangle. Okay, so if I'm finding the area of this triangle, I'm saying the area is 1/2 the base times the height. So I'm going to do 1/2. The base is 6 centimeters. The height is 5 centimeters. So 6 times 5 is 30. 30 divided by 2 is 15. Don't forget your units. What is it? Centimeters squared. Okay, perfect. Problem solved, right? You're feeling like Lucy right there, like, I got this. Yeah, I can do this. New concept. All right. Now remember that there are 4 operations of arithmetic and of math, basically. These are the operations. You've got addition, you've got subtraction, you can also multiply numbers, you can also divide numbers. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that's all 4 of them. Now, when you've got a string of things that you have to do all in one problem, there's an order that you do these. And the order is important because if you do it in the wrong order, you will get the wrong answer, guaranteed. So what's the right order? The right order is the order of operations. That's what it's called. That's what's in a thought cloud right here. And that's what you have to memorize. And that's what should be dripping off your tongue. See, even this dumb-looking girl can memorize it. Order of operations. Okay, so the first thing that you're going to do when you get a string of things to do is you're going to perform all the operations that are inside parentheses. So parentheses, I'm going to write P for parentheses. That is going to be number 1. P for parentheses. Number 2, you're going to multiply and you're going to divide and you're going to go from left to right. And number 3, the last thing you do is you're going to add and you're going to subtract from left to right. All right, so let's try it. This is the best way to do it, right? Okay, yeah, it is the best way. Let's do example 1. They want us to simplify this math. Now, this is a whole string of things. 2 times 8 plus 2 times 6. Now, which one do you do first? Because there is an order. So let's look across this. There's no parentheses here, so we don't have to worry about parentheses. The next step, number 2, is multiply and divide. So I'm going to underline the things. This is a multiplication. This is a multiplication. So these are the things that we're going to do first. So if we do 2 times 8, we get 16. If we do 2 times 6, we get 12. The last thing we do with order of operations is the adding and subtracting. So we need to add these two together. So it's kind of like we did this first and we did this first. If there had been parentheses there, then you would definitely do those first. But if there's no parentheses, you still have to multiply and divide before you add. So this problem is the same as 16 plus 12. And when you add 16 plus 12, you get 28. Now, I want you to notice something that is really super important. If you had done these in the wrong order, you would have got the wrong answer. You would have definitely gotten the wrong answer. So I want you to get a calculator, and what we're going to do is we're going to plug this into the calculator and see if it gives you the right answer or the wrong answer, because it turns out that some calculators will do the order of operations for you, and some of them will not, and it just depends on your calculator. But you can test the design of your calculator and use that expression from example 1, which is this, okay? And you plug this into the calculator exactly the way it's written. So you're going to hit 2 times 8. Don't hit equals yet, just do that. 2 times 8 plus 2 times 6. And then after you've put all of that in, hit your equal sign. If it gives you the number 28 right here for your answer, then you know that this calculator is doing the order of operations, and that's called algebraic logic. So I want you to tell me if the calculator gives you algebraic logic or if it doesn't. Okay? Cool. I'm excited to find out what you get there. Let's do example 2. You nervous now? Because this one looks really long. But it's not that bad if we remember the order of operations. The first thing we're going to do is look for parentheses. And I don't see any parentheses there, so there's none. So we don't need to worry about that. So the second step is to multiply and divide from left to right. So here's a divide. Whoops, I need to fix that. Okay, so here's a divide. Here's a multiply. So we're going to do those first. So I'm just going to highlight the ones we do first. So we're going to do this first. And then we're going to do this first. Okay, ready? All right, so we're going to do 0.5 divided by 0.5. Well, that's easy. It's just going to be 1. Because it's a ratio, 0.5 over 0.5, right? All right, now the next one is going to be 0.5 times 0.5. That's different. When you multiply a half times a half, you get a fourth. So that's going to be 0.25. Now I'm going to bring down everything else that I left up here. So I'm going to bring this down, and I'm going to bring this minus sign down. So I'm going to write 0.5 plus 1 minus 0.25. Then we're just going to add and subtract from left to right. So what is 0.5 plus 1? Well, that is 1.5. And then 1.5 minus 0.25 is 1.25. So what I get is 1.25. Sweet. We got it. Now, that's too easy. That's what you're saying, huh? That's too easy. Let's do the last example, and then you can do your homework. And this is all there is to this example. So it looks like it's going to be super easy. But if you get it wrong, then it's not easy, right? You got to make sure that you do the order of operations. So the first thing, step 1 with order of operations, is these parentheses. We finally have one with parentheses. So you've got to do everything inside the parentheses first. So I'm going to change this to 2 times, what's 8 plus 6? It is 14. Okay, now basically when you have it in parentheses like this is like saying 2 times. 2 times whatever the answer in parentheses is. So then the last step is we're going to multiply. And what is 2 times 14? It is 28. Another answer of 28, right? Cool. Alrighty. And guess what? Mission accomplished. Good job, Addy. Good job with this lesson today. Love ya and hope you have fun doing your math, okay? Bye.